Last month, the Department of Justice announced an unprecedented surge of criminal investigators from the FBI, the DEA, the ATF, and the United States Marshals Service to support, not supplant, but support the Kansas City Police Department in response to an unprecedented surge in violent crime in this city. With the enthusiastic support of his grieving parents, the operation was named in honor of 4-year-old LeGend Taliferro, who was senselessly killed as he slept in his family's apartment. His parents want LeGend's legacy to be a reduction in the violent crime plaguing cities across our country, and we are honored to have them with us today. Operation LeGend is working. In just 4 weeks, it's resulted in the arrests of 18 homicide suspects and the seizure of over 70 illegal firearms. In June, Kansas City had more than 3 killings every 4 days. But since our announcement on July the 8th, that rate has been reduced to fewer than 3 killings every 5 days. Our clearance rate, that is the rate of homicides that are solved and referred to a prosecutor, has increased from 34% on June 1st to 45% today. There is much to be done, but to use the parlance of our day, we are flattening the curve.
We launched Operation LeGend in Kansas City, and one of the key factors in that decision was that we were working with a superb police department and outstanding police leadership. 3 weeks ago, we've substantially expanded Operation LeGend, and we are now underway in 9 U.S. cities. As Tim mentioned, the operation is named for LeGend Taliferro, a 4-year-old boy who was shot while he was asleep in his apartment. For us, LeGend is a symbol of the many hundreds of innocent lives that have been taken in the recent upsurge of crime in many of our urban areas. His life mattered, and the lives of all of those victims matter. His name should be remembered, and his senseless death, like those of all the other innocent victims in this recent surge, should be unacceptable to all Americans. Through Operation LeGend, the federal government has dispatched to these 9 cities, more than 1,000 additional agents to work shoulder to shoulder with our state and local partners. And when I say shoulder to shoulder, I mean literally. I just had the pleasure of visiting the Kansas City Police Department and meeting the homicide squads, the 4 homicide squads and the 2 assault squads, and visiting with them, the Kansas City Police detectives on those squads. But embedded with those squads are FBI agents, DEA agents, and ATF agents, working literally shoulder to shoulder with them to crack these cases. Here in Kansas City, for example, there are 185 additional agents from the FBI, DEA, ATF, and the U.S. Marshals. Also, to support this operation, we've allocated $78.5 million in grants and other funds made available to our state and local partners. These grants, for example, go to support additional police positions. In some states, we have used them to hire more prosecutors, and we have also used them, these funds, to bring to bear some improved technology to help us solve these crimes, particularly in the area of firearms crimes. We saw one result of those efforts last week when Kansas City police arrested the suspected murderer of LeGend. This spike may have a lot of reasons behind it. I think some of it may be the pent-up aggression prompted by the state and local quarantine orders. I definitely feel a lot of it is due to the premature release of dangerous criminals by the courts and by prosecutors. And I think it also is related to the efforts that we've recently seen to demonize police and to defund their work. Operation LeGend is the heart of the federal government's response to this upturn in violent crime. Its mission is to save lives, solve crimes, and take violent offenders off the streets before they can claim more victims. Rather than demonizing and defunding our police, we are supporting and strengthening our law enforcement partners at the state and local level. So far, federal state task forces involved in Operation LeGend have made almost 1,500 arrests. I think it's 1,485 to be precise. And many of those arrests are for violent state crimes, including 90 homicides, like LeGend's murderer. That's more than 90 suspected killers who might still be on the streets without Operation LeGend. And in many cities, as I said, the operation is just getting started.